Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm doing more elf makeup. Today's a little different. It's mostly all my putty and stick products. There's a few that's not that, but ouch. So I have no gripping primer. So or color correctors. Besides the one for the under eyes. So we'll see how this goes. Alright. I did a little skincare routine. I cleaned my face, put some serum on, and eye cream. Now we're going into sunscreen and moisturizer. I have the e.l.f. Invisa stick. Like I said, it's mostly stick and putty products, so. Oh. This feels nice right now. I'm just putting it all over my face first. Still gotta talk about this week. So, yay. Then I'm gonna take my putty primer applicator. And just blend that all around. I didn't get a chance to wash my brushes this weekend because of trick or treat. And I decided I'm gonna do the tutorial for Pennywise on Halloween. So on Friday. I might use some e.l.f. products if I still have e.l.f. products left over. Alright, so I'm gonna let that soak in for a moment. So I'm going to go into my e.l.f. fragrance-free face cream with the e.l.f. bronzing drops in pure gold. So I'm just going to do a little bit. I always seem to get too much out. So. Then I'm going to do two drops of this product. Mix it really well. I am using a cream bronzer too. I just want a little something more. And because I'm not using the Low Glow, I needed a little bit of luminosity. Yes, I'm using the Luminous Putty Primer too. But this just gets a bronzy glow. I don't know if you can tell. But I love this product. So ouch. So I didn't have as much waste today as I normally do. I just love the added skin benefits of the bronze drops, and I love the glow that it gives. So, all right, now we're good for face for now. So I'm going into the e.l.f. Wow Brow Tinted Brow Gel in taupe. Get my least favorite product out of the way this week. It literally gives... No. And I'm like missing hairs. But let that dry. While I'm letting that dry, so I'm going into the e.l.f. Lock It Down eyeshadow primer. I told my husband, Tyler, that I seriously need to get the rest of the e.l.f. makeup. But of course, we're like so far in debt. It's not funny. So like, I also get where he's coming from. So of course, I'm going into my e.l.f. Bite Size palette. You should already know that. So, taking this crease brush today, I'm going to go into the cream shade. So, I'm just pretty much trying. If I use the products up before the 6 months are over, that's fine. But I'm going to try not to. But like I said, if I do, it's fine. Then I'll just go back to my normal makeup. But was I trying to say? Oh. What was it? I lost my train of thought. Oh. But if I do end up using all this up, it'll be going into another bag. Because I'm keeping all my e.l.f. empties into I try everything from e.l.f. Once I try everything from e.l.f., whatever's empty will be thrown away. Once I do the video at the end of all this, then I think the next one I'm doing is Catrice after this. After e.l.f. I gotta look. I have it all written down. What? Videos I'm doing, or what makeup brands I'm doing, and the order I'm doing it. So we got e.l.f., then I think next is Catrice. Then after that is CoverGirl. I gotta look. Because I'm trying to expand on brands. So, like, not just use what I can get at Walmart. Like, and I'm not going to do another tutorial until my brushes are clean. So when I said that, no matter what, Friday is going to be the end of the videos for the week. It's true. I got to clean my brushes. So now I'm going into the third brown, so the cool tone brown, with my blending crease brush. Of course, put that in the actual crease. But as I was saying, trying to expand my makeup brands to everything. But once I start making money, I will start using high-end brands. But until then, it's all drugstore. Of course, I'm not going to try everything from them. Might just do a full face. I might do all of it. But I also told my husband that I don't know if I want to go as far he said it would be a good idea just because at that point you get a feel for everything in the makeup industry. And I got to get my Q-tips out. I keep forgetting about these things. Told my dad I'm just going to start buying a box just for makeup. So now I'm going to take my detail brush here, going into the darkest brown. Again, just on the outer portion and halfway into that crease. Kind of high too. I'm doing things different today, so I'm gonna switch things up. But as I was saying, my husband says it's a good idea to do high-end makeup because you get a feel for everything and all that. I think the only reason he said that is because he's not going to be the one paying for it. I am. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's the only reason he said that is because he's not the one paying for it. Then just lightly blending that out. But yeah. So that's what I think. I think it's just because he's not going to be the one paying for it after. I am going to clean up the under eyes at the end. So now I have the No Budge Shadow Stick in Perfect Pearl. To really make that brow arch. I'm scared to do it. That's a cool idea, but I'm like scared to do it. Alright. Then I'm going to take my liquid metallic eyeshadow in the shade Moon. Now I could totally do this out in the living room. I chose the bathroom. Why? I don't know. Probably because the lighting's better in here, sort of. Alright. So I'm gonna let all that dry. Then I'm going to go into eyeliner and mascara, and I have a trick for the mascara. And then after all that, I'm going to clean up the under eyes. And then we're good to go for the face. I had to think. Alright. So Next, I'm going into the Precision Liquid Liner in the shade Black. I'm going all the way over. Yes, it did get pretty thick on that eye. It is fine. Nobody really judges me though, so. Probably because they know I'm still learning. There. So. Alright. Now, mascara. I mean, do I really need to curl? I'm gonna try not curling my lashes since I gotta clean my lash curler. And see where that gets us. So I'm going into the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. So, and deep brown. So to be able to get the like mascara to keep from it smudging on the eyes when you're applying it, I want to add some more mascara. You get the concept. It's hard to do. I think my lashes look better without them curled. But it could just be this formula because this formula ends up curling and lifting. Okay. Ew. I gotta go watch with my ears. Ugh. Because, like, my ears, they're so sensitive and I get ear infections so easy. So I gotta, like, always clean out my ears. Oh. This is annoying. Oh. Okay, so now I'm going to clean underneath my eyes with a little bit of micellar water and a Q-tip. underneath those lashes too. For any mascara smudge marks from clumpiness. So perfect. My leg's itchy. Alright, so that is the eyes. I'm gonna put my Q-tips back. Now it's time for the face. So first, I'm going to do something really quick. I'm going to put all my cream products on first, besides the foundation, and then powder it, and then put foundation on top. First is the e.l.f. Stay Cool Face Primer. The cooling face primer. This is actually not eating through those bronzing drops, so I thought it would. This feels so nice on the skin. I'm enjoying this. Feels so good on the skin. So, ouch. Okay, so it's the brush. Because the product doesn't eat through the bronzing drops. But the brush is always coming up with the bronzing drops. So it's just the brush. So if it's just the brush, then that's fine. Alright. Alright. So while I'm letting that sit, and I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Putty Color Corrector Eye Brightener for underneath the eyes with the brush I normally use for this product, or these products. What the fuck? And just to put this one in the tote for clean. Alright, that instantly brightened up my under eyes. Cute. Alright. Alright. Oh. Oh, I forgot this product. Oh man. Now I'm leaving like fingerprints. Oh, I'm not tightlining again today. I just don't feel like tightlining today. Alright, so I need that brush again. Just to blend out any fingerprint marks. Okay. We got that. Ew. That's disgusting. Alright. So, now, I think I'm going to go into the liquid one first. The liquid poreless putty. Evenly to face. Okay. So, I guess you're supposed to use this all over the face. Oops. And then pat it in. With fingertips. Ugh. Yes, you're gonna have to hear that. The whole time. Sorry. Now that it's around my whole face, ugh. Now that it's around my whole face, I can tell it has a little bit of fragrance, but not too bad. Okay. Ugh. I already wet into my sponge, so that's good. Alright. Gross. Alright. Then it said allow 30 seconds to dry. 30 seconds to set before makeup application. This is so exciting. I'm telling you right now, this is so exciting. I love it. That was 30 seconds. So now I'm going into the solid form of the Putty primer. Anti-pores. It literally tells you anti-pores, anti-shine, whatever. So, I'm going to use the brush part, and I'm going to stipple it. Whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to stipple on my nose. I'm going to stipple it here. And then stipple here because of the pores here. Okay. Alrighty. They look pretty blurred. Alright, so I'm gonna let that set for another 30 seconds. Alright, Now I'm going into the matte putty primer using the same technique. I'm gonna go here, 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 and here. So now, dimples. I feel like stimpling really pushes it into the skin. On the side of my nose, bit of my nose, down, around my mouth there. I feel like a little down my chin, dimples. Like I said, stimpling, I feel like really pushes it into the skin. And then once again, 30 seconds. Then the last putty primer. Let that sit for 30 seconds. Then we'll go into concealer first. Just to get that. Alright, that's been 30 seconds. Now I'm going into the luminous one. Just these 3 places, because I don't want to ruin. Well, I'm gonna kind of ruin the blur. I don't want to ruin the blur part on my, and then a little bit around my nose, this area, around my mouth, my upper lip. I'm gonna ruin a little bit on the chin and nose, but I don't want the cheeks. Glowy. Alright, primers are on. So I'm going, like I said, I'm going to let that sit for 30 seconds. Then I'll come in and we'll do while I'm letting this set, I'm going to go into my lip exfoliator since I forgot to do it. Then circular motion. Then take in a paper towel. Then the e.l.f. Squeeze Me Lip Balm in grape. So much better. All right. So I'm going into the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo in Fair Beige. Now I'm taking my concealer brush. I'm gonna first go there, then blend it back. So on both sides. And I do have my sponge to be able to blend it out more. Because of course I don't want this getting too cakey or too makeup-y. Then here. Just blend it. Then like that. Oh, I'm so hungry. And again, sponge to make sure it don't get too makeup-y. Okay. So now I'm going into my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer and my deluxe crease brush. I'm going to let the concealer marinate. So I'm going to take the deluxe crease brush. This is in the shade Sun Kissed, which actually works perfectly for my skin tone once blended out. So going Alright, now I can go over top, on top of the line of that concealer for the contour, or the bronzer, sorry. And then on. The reason I don't put the concealer on my nose right away is because of the fact that I still gotta contour or bronze. I know it looks a little weird right now. Trust me. So I'm going to take my fingers. I'm going to blend out that bronzer on the nose. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little bit of my concealer. Just going to put it on the tip. And take my pinky. And go and blend that in between. Then I'm also going to take a little bit of concealer and make triangles. Yeah, a triangle. And once again, taking my pinky. Or index. And just blend that on the side of the nose. And of course, taking the sponge to make sure none of this is too much. Since I'm not using any powder products to see if these really last on the skin, I'm just using a bronzing brush to blend this. But anyways, since I'm not using any powder products, just to see what really lasts on the skin without powder products on top. Because using powder products on top is starting to get too much for me. Not that I don't want the work. It's not the work that's getting too much. It's just every once in a while it gets too much. Like too makeup-y on my skin. So I'm gonna let that set for 30 seconds. Then we're gonna go into 2 different blushes. Because like I said, all putty and stick products. So, and I'm hoping to have this finished under an hour. But I don't see that happening. Actually, you never know. Alright, so underneath, I'm going to go into the Luminous Putty Blush in the shade Belize, I believe. St. Bart's. Where did I get Belize from? That's the shade I wanted. Making sure to make sure it's all evenly on the brush and apply. So pretty. Then again, just taking my sponge, making sure it's not too much. Then go back in and do it again. So exciting. I love this blush now. Now that I learned it's not too patchy. I was just using way too much product. if you notice, I'm also blending it, I'm not just blending it up, I'm also blending it down into that bronzer to make sure everything is blended and coherent. So now I'm going into the same brush with the e.l.f. Putty blush. This is in Bora Bora. This is a hot, like, bubblegum pink on top. Lightly on top. So, but with these two putty blushes together, they make a nice, pretty pink. Alright. And so let that set for 30 seconds. I'll be right back. I have to go deal with something. Alright. I had to get food. I'm starving. I have the e.l.f. monochromatic stick. And instead of using the brush, I'm just going to swipe it on and blend it. This is in Glistening Peach. So this is going to be like a cream highlighter. A peachy highlighter. Because it does have shimmer in it. Let's see if it really lasts. I mean, it's not shearing out. No. No, it's really not shearing out. So you might just have to apply it like this. Oh, look. Actually, no. So even now that it's not shearing out as bad, I gotta see if it lasts. I look like I have sunburn all over my face. So. Ooh. e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation in Fair Warm. And e.l.f. Camo Color Corrector. Dimple, dimple, dimple. Don't drag, dimple. Yum. I'm eating applesauce. Dimples. Dimple. Dimple. Dimpling helps. And I'm literally wanting to make my own makeup line. I gotta find. So, literally, I told my dad this. I'm like, oh, I want to make my own makeup line. Because he wants to do, but trying to explain everything, but I'm also trying to do my makeup. I'm not gonna be able to do this under an hour, but told my dad that I want to do my own makeup line since he wants to do his woodworking and stuff for to sell, like at like a Peddler's Junction and those type of places. So he's like, if you want to make anything to sell with him, I could. So I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I tried doing bath bombs. I finally got to the point where I could do those. So I could always do those too. But I wanted to do more than one thing. You know what I mean? That's me. Try to make the most money. Money to be able to do things, because the only income we have, because I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, so I decided I'm just going to I don't need a powder brush. I'm just going to put all my cream products together like normal. Then I'm going to use the sponge. Alright. For under the eyes, I'm going into the Perfect Finish HD powder with my setting brush. Alright. Then I'm going into my HD powder. Go move those. Take a powder puff. I'm doing a light bake. I'm not doing a whole. Yes, I do need a powder brush. What am I saying? I'm not doing a whole. I'm not doing a whole bunch of powder on my bake because of the fact that I'm not putting powder products on top, because I just want to see how well all my creams last without powder products on top. Like powder blush and stuff. Like, they're not gonna last long if I don't have powder, setting powder on top. But, so I'm getting ready to start doing that once I get the money for that. Like, I'm doing nail polish. I'm doing nail polish and makeup products. And nail polish and makeup products and what else was I doing? Holy crap. Can't think today. Makeup products, nail polish, and bath bombs. That was the other thing. If they don't sell as well as, I'm not gonna do under eyes either. Let me get this done as soon as possible. But if the bath bombs don't sell as well as the makeup, I won't do bath bombs. I just do makeup. So now I'm gonna dust everything off with my setting brush. I can see everything coming through. So we'll see how long this all lasts. So now I'm going into my Cream Clyde lip liner. And Truth or Bear. On the sides. And then my e.l.f. lip lacquer. Oh crap. And last but not least, my Stay All Night. So like I said, I'm going to see how everything lasts throughout the day. All my cream products, my cream blush, my cream bronzer, and my cream highlighter. Really put them to the test. Because if they don't last long without powder on top, then at that point I'm like, oh, well, it's no good, because I'm like, what's the point? So we'll see. I'll see you guys later. Bye.